All right, Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees online. Today we will be covering session 7, and we will be skipping the kirtan in the beginning because we got two songs that we're going to be covering today. I'm going to be covering the final limb of humility, and then also the other four aspects that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also covers. So we may go a little over time, but I'll try to see if we could do it in good time. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapara Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pastata Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So let us cover any feedback that you had from yesterday's session, offering oneself totally to the Lord. Please share any realizations, any feedback, any points that you remember, anything that you found very interesting from yesterday's session before we continue with today's session. Madhachana Siddhi says, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay, that's request. Let's share the feedback. Any feedback from yesterday? Namavati Radhika says, I am nothing. Our identification is servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis. Yes.
Prabhu, I think what I took back yesterday was when to surrender, you must have you can surrender better if you have a clear understanding of the Lord. That in that way
Yes.
you can be able to
Correct.
surrender.
Yeah. Just like if you want to surrender your 5 years to a medical university, you at least want to understand the university, the teachers, what is the level and level within the, let's say, within South Africa, within the world. So okay, I'm going to a good university. You don't want to just go to any university that has a signed university, maybe a hoax, right? So you obviously want to do your research, understanding the university, then you're inspired to go and study. Similarly, the more we understand Krishna, then the impetus to surrender, and that is why you find the first 9 cantos of the Bhagavatam are extolling the glories and the qualities of Krishna, so that when we understand who Krishna is, it becomes easier to surrender to him. Because remember, it's not surrender is not out of force, it's out of love. But you can only surrender out of love if you know the person. So therefore, knowing the person is key.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Salome says, Hare Krishna, before we surrender, we need to complete, and yes, we need to have a complete and clear understanding of the Lord, as we mentioned. Good. Mother Archanistya says we must pray to Krishna that Maya is so strong and we are so weak. Yes, constant prayer to keep us shielded from Maya. Hemavati Radhika Nalini says, pure devotee simply offer his love and is controlled by Krishna, just like Srila Prabhupada displayed perfect surrender. Yes. Zulami says, all our suffering are caused by ourselves, our actions and deeds. We must accept the suffering and pray to Krishna that whatever birth we have, we must be amongst Vaishnavas. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hemavati Radhika says, Jagannath pastime was beautiful, and Manasa Deha song was so beautiful, so much to learn. The Lorraine says, pure devotees feel fallen in the heart, not just a thought in the head. Yes, wonderful. Thank you for everyone's feedback. Rasastali says, everything should be done as an offering to the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord. Because one can offer, but that offering has to be with one's body, with one's mind, with the proper intention, and in this way, for the pleasure of the Lord. So today we're going to complete this board with the other areas. We talked about self-surrender with no ego, offering one's self free from false proprietorship, complete attachment to the Lord with body, mind, and words. So today we're going to be completing session 7. We won't have a session tomorrow. We're going to complete that today. And we come covering the last of the 6 limbs. Always feel oneself meek and humble. And in Sanskrit, that's called dainya. So understanding dainya, humility, karpanyam. This verse beautifully describes the quality of humility. I'll go through it. I'll just read the English. Oh Lord, please protect me, protect me. Such an internal sense of heartbreak in the devotees, which causes their remembrance in love in all circumstances of the extension of grace from the unequaled and unexcelled ocean of compassion, Sri Hari, and which characteristically cause them to ever remember their feelings of most lamentable destitution, is known by the learned as karpanyam, surrender in humility. So Bhagavan Raksha Rakshaivam, oh Lord, please protect me, please protect me. So someone who's living humility, somebody is at the level of surrender in humility, they will always have this trait of, oh Lord, please protect me, please protect me. And the reason for that is related to Nijjati Socham Nichatam, because they recognize their own lamentable fallen condition, which is worth lamenting. So they recognize, I'm fallen, I'm useless, I have absolutely no way I can, there's no way I can protect myself. I need you, my Lord. In the material world, because of pride, because of false ego, people, they feel, I don't need anyone to protect me. No? Because they feel that if they surrender to the Lord for protection, it raises themselves. So therefore, they're very arrogant, very proud. I'll protect myself. I'm powerful. I'm strong. I'm worthy. I can do things. I'm capable. I'm not useless. I'm not fallen. I'm advanced. This is the mentality. That pride is there. But in full surrender, there's this realization that one is nothing. One is fallen. And therefore, one is seeking protection. Artha bhavena sarvata, praying in a lamentable, pitiful condition of distress. Because they recognize their position, they are lamenting. and they are praying in a lamentable state. It is very interesting. It is described that as one progresses and advances in devotional service, especially in relation to especially in association with one's relationship with the holy name, the holy name begins to reveal its identity. And as the holy name reveals its identity, and because the holy name is Krishna, as Krishna reveals his identity, one begins to understand one's mistakes, especially of inattentiveness to Krishna in the form of the holy name. And one begins to cry and lament that, my Lord, I've been such a fool. I've been so inattentive, understanding, your material or not taking you seriously. Now I can appreciate who you are. So the pure devotee recognizes that. He recognizes who Krishna is. He realizes who Krishna is. Therefore, this is a natural consequence. Asamurdra daya sindur. He constantly remembers this fact, two facts. Daya Sindhu, unexcelled ocean of mercy, that Krishna is Kripa Sindhu, ocean of mercy. And Hare Karunya Vaibhavyam, greatness of the mercy of the Lord. He understands his condition, fallen condition, and because he's received the mercy of Krishna, he's appreciating Krishna, you're an ocean of mercy. You are so merciful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Smaratams cha visheshena, specifically remembering this. So he remembers his lamentable condition, and Bhaktanam Atri Bhavastu, the Supreme Lord who responds and reciprocates with the devotee's distressful condition. Just as a pure devotee is para dukkha dukhi, the pure devotee laments and suffers when he sees others are suffering. Similarly, the Lord also, he is pained when he sees his parts and parcels are suffering, and therefore the Lord responds and reciprocates with the devotee's distressful condition. Srila Prabhupada was asked, what does it mean to be humble? And his answer was really incredible. He said, humility means that you are convinced beyond any doubt that there is nothing in this world, absolutely nothing in this world, not your money, not your family, not your fame, not your gun, not your education, nothing that will save you except the mercy of Krishna. When you are convinced like this, then you are humble. Very profound words by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, in the early days when he was offering his homage to his Pochu master, he says, personally, I have no hope for any direct service for the coming crores of births of the sojourn of my life. But I'm confident that someday or other, I shall be delivered from this mire of delusion in which I am at present so deeply sunk. Therefore, let me with all my earnestness pray at the lotus feet of my divine master to allow me to suffer the lot for which I am destined due to my past misdoings, but to let me have this power of recollection that I am nothing but a tiny servant of the Almighty Absolute Godhead, realized through the unflinching mercy of my divine master. Let me therefore bow down at his lotus feet with all the humility at my command. So this is really the consciousness of exalted souls. They recognize their true position in relation to Krishna even though they're exalted. Qualities of humility. Humility is a natural symptom of the soul in his awakened state. The only hope for the soul enslaved by Maya is the mercy of the master of Maya. Regretful submission of incompetence by the devotee who aspires for the service of the Supreme Person. Despite thousands of personal defects, a devotee can never check his desire for the Lord's service. Although the Lord is naturally gracious upon the surrendered soul, the surrendered soul considers himself unfit to receive that grace. It's also a very interesting or amazing trait of humility. When one gets mercy, in the conditioned state, one gets mercy, one thinks, I'm qualified to get mercy. Just see, I got the mercy of Krishna, and because why? I'm qualified to get the mercy. This is again this pride coming up. That means you're not really humble. But somebody on the level of true humility, when they get the mercy of Krishna, they cry that, my Lord, you're an ocean of mercy. I'm unfit to receive this mercy, and therefore, how kind you are to this fallen soul. Heartfelt petitioning in stark humility. One is always offering heartfelt petition prayers. Mother Bhagavad Dasi recollects this beautiful pastime with Srila Prabhupada. As exalted and as glorious as he was, Srila Prabhupada was humble. Unlike other gurus who'd say there was something wonderful. Once there was a dispute between senior devotees about Prabhupada's position. A woman disciple wrote to Srila Prabhupada, some of the devotees say that you can see what's in the heart of your disciples, and other devotees say that you can't do that. What do you say? Please tell me. Prabhupada's secretary read this question, and Prabhupada said, quote, for a greatly advanced pure devotee, this is not at all difficult. He can easily see what is going on in the hearts of all his disciples, unquote. The secretary said, okay, I should tell her that you can do this. Prabhupada said, I didn't say that. I said a greatly advanced pure devotee could see that. I am not a greatly advanced pure devotee. I am not even a devotee. I am just trying to be a devotee. Now, this is Srila Prabhupada's response. The founder Acharya, the worldwide guru, that person who influenced thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of souls to surrender their lives to Krishna. And he is saying, I'm not a greatly advanced pure devotee. I'm not even a devotee. I am trying to be a devotee. And how easily it is for us. Are you a Hare Krishna devotee? Yes. Are you a devotee? Yes. We may even go to the extent, I'm an advanced devotee, I'm a senior devotee. So this is, when we really understand what true surrender is, when we really understand what a devotee is. One time they told Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, your devotees are falling down. Prabhupada said, devotees never fall down. So we should always keep this in mind, this trait of humility. Sri Mahaprabhu has described in his Shastika prayers, 3rd verse. And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says we should take this verse and string it around our neck. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant and treat devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. There is no question of advancing until we advance through this verse and beyond this verse. So let's hear Srila Prabhupada first speak about this, and then we'll expand.
Our humbleness. This humbleness is very good in devotional service. Therefore, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us, Tinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisnuna. One should be tolerant than the trees and humbler than the grass uh, to make progress in spiritual life. Because there will be so many disturbances. Because Maya, we are living just like if we are in the ocean. See, you cannot expect very peaceful situation in the ocean. It must be always what is called tilting. Even your big seat, it is also not very fixed up position. At any moment there may be tumultuous waves. So in this material world, you should always expect danger. You cannot expect very peaceful life within this material. Padang padang jada vipadang. Shastra says, in every step there is danger. But if you become a devotee, then you escape. Mayamitang taranti. Otherwise, so in the beginning, if you take to Krishna consciousness, there will be so many disturbances by the Maya. Maya will test you. How far you are fixed up. She will test you. She is also agent of Krishna. She does not allow anyone who is meant for disturbing Krishna. Therefore, she tests very rigidly. Whether you have taken Krishna consciousness to disturb Krishna, or you are actually serious. That is Maya's business. So, there will be, in the beginning, test by the Maya, and you will feel so much disturbances in making progress in Krishna consciousness. But if you remain steady, steady means if you follow the rules and regulations and chant 16 down, then you will remain steady. And if you neglect, then Maya will capture you. Immediately. Maya is always ready. We are in the ocean. At any moment, we will be disturbed.
So we in the ocean. When we truly believe we in the ocean, when we truly realize we in the ocean, we will understand that there is no escape out of the ocean besides surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes that one should be lower than the straw in his street. Sometimes also described to be lower than the blade of grass, and more tall than a tree. So the more one feels humble or humility, the more one will be able to tolerate. The more one is proud, the more one will be agitated. When one is humble, one is able to tolerate any amount of inconveniences, difficulties, challenges. When one is proud, one will only be able to see the difficulties, the challenges, and complain, criticize. Now, here the Lord says one should be lower than the straw in the street. Nobody cares for the straw in the street. People trample the straws in the street. So one should be more lower than that, implying that even if people walk over you, they disregard you, it's immaterial. Now, when somebody walks over a straw, over a grass, blade of grass, the straw and the grass does not retaliate and cannot retaliate. So when Sri Mahaprabhu says one should be more lower than a blade of grass or a straw, that means that we are, as conscious beings, we can tolerate, we can retaliate, we can complain. But when we don't complain, when we tolerate all the inconveniences, then we advance and attract the mercy of the holy name. So this is, how one needs to, and again, see oneself in Krishna consciousness. At the same time, one cannot artificially do this. This comes with advancement in Krishna consciousness. If you artificially try to do this, you'll be able to temporarily maintain this, and as soon as something happens, you will react even more violently than before. So it's not a question of artificially trying to be humble and trying to tolerate. In the beginning, one tries to shield oneself with good association, so that healthy association allows one to advance nicely, so that one can come to this level of naturally being more tolerant. As one advances in Krishna consciousness, one's advancement and humility increases in the same direction. The more you advance, the more you become humble. The converse is true. If you're not advanced, you are not humble. A new bhakta may join and he's thinking, I'm very advanced. And he's thinking, I'm very humble. And a pure devotee, he's the most advanced, yet he's thinking, I'm the most fallen. The vision of a pure devotee is that I am the most fallen. In fact, everyone that I see is more advanced than me. This is a Mahabhagavat's vision, that they see everyone as more advanced. Somebody who's totally new, they see themselves as advanced compared to everybody else. The example is given that from a far distant, you cannot really appreciate the greatness of the Himalayan mountains. But the closer you go to the Himalayan mountains, you start to recognize the greatness of these mountain ranges, because now you can appreciate the vast and the huge nature, and it fills one with awe and reverence of that these mountains are so huge, such magnificent manifestations of the Lord creation. Similarly, the further we away from the Lord, we don't recognize his position. The closer we come to the Supreme Lord and understanding the Supreme Lord, the more we recognize Krishna's greatness. The closer we come to the Lord and the more we recognize his greatness, the more we recognize our insignificance. And the more we recognize our insignificance, the more humble we become in front of the Supreme Lord. So this is how humility breeds as one advances in Krishna consciousness. This statement, you have nothing to lose because nothing is yours. Therefore, the devotee completely surrenders to Krishna. And at the same time, when he's in difficulties, he knows I'm useless anyway, I'm insignificant anyway, so I don't have nothing to lose. So these are some of the traits of humility. I just want to share one or two pastimes. One devotee was this was in the Holy Dham, Mayapur, and he was walking towards the temple, and there was another car with some devotees. And in India, they have this culture of clearing their throat. So he was walking, and it so happened that the devotee was in the car, and he cleared his throat, and spat out. As soon as he spat out, this devotee's timing was exact and went onto his face. The devotee who got this on his face, he turned to the devotee in the car, folded his hands, and said, "I'm very sorry, Prabhu, I came in your way," and walked away. This is humility. This is humility. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, there are many pastimes of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. One time Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was doing multiple programs from one city to another, from one village to another, and he was going with his disciples. So he came to the first program, led the kirtan, gave the talk, and at the end asked any questions. And there was one gentleman that picked up his hand and started to ask very challenging questions to minimize Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, didn't get angry. He, tried to answer, but the disciples weren't very happy because this person was very arrogant and, trying to demean and minimize Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Anyway, the program was over. They went to the next village, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj did the program. After any questions, sure enough, same person raised his hands, asked the same challenging questions. Went to the third program. Guess who was there? The same person. This went on for a few programs, and the disciples, were getting very upset. They practically wanted to, kill this fellow. So anyway, this would happen very often. After some time, one day, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj heard that there was some, rejoicing. He was staying upstairs in the temple, and he heard downstairs that there's some like rejoicing festival going on, and there's no festival that is celebrating. So he came down, and he asked the secretary, the servant, what's this festival about? People are happy, Kirtan, what's happening? And the servant said, Guru Maharaj, didn't you know? Didn't you hear? I remember that fellow who was, every program he was asking, very nasty questions and challenging you and trying to bring you down, at every program you were going, he died. As soon as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj heard this, tears started rolling down his eyes. And the servant was very, was caught aback, Kumaj, did I say something wrong? He said something wrong. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, and now who's going to teach me tolerance? So this is how the pure devotee sees every situation for his own benefit. Even somebody who would, be so nasty, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj saw it for his own purification, own advancement. This is humility. So, Dainya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given 7 songs on humility. We're going to go through those 7 songs. Song 1. So as we go through these songs, appreciate and remember these songs we can use as prayers to offer to the Supreme Lord. And we should try to understand the mood and what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying in relation to, because he's revealing the proper mood that we should have, the proper understanding we should have in relation to us as conditioned souls. I forsook you, O Lord, and came to this world of pain and sorrow. Now I submit my tale of woe at your lotus feet. While still in an unbearable fetters of my mother's womb, I saw you before me. You revealed yourself but briefly, and then abandoned this poor servant of yours. At that moment, I swore to worship you after taking birth, but birth came, and with it the network of worldly illusions which robbed me of all good sense. Here Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quoting from scripture. Bhagavatam says that in the womb, we all had a glimpse of the Supreme Lord. And especially those who are pious, they get a glimpse of the Lord. And in that very compact, suffering position, the living entity prays, my Lord, please take me out from the situation. I promise I'll worship you. But as soon as one comes out, one forgets the Lord. As a fondle son in the lap of relatives, I passed my time smiling and laughing. My parents' affection helped me to forget the pangs of birth, and I thought the world was very nice. Day by day I grew and soon began playing with other boys. Shortly my powers of understanding emerged. I read and studied my lessons incessantly. Traveling from place to place, proud of my education, I grew wealthy and maintained my family with undivided attention. Oh Lord Hari, I forgot you. Now in old age, Bhaktivinoda is sad. He weeps. I failed to worship you, O Lord, and instead pass my life in vain. What will be my fate now? The quote says, we don't have to become big scholars. We don't have to become big Superman. We simply have to become a humble servant of Krishna. Song 2. With great enthusiasm, I spent my time in the pleasures of mundane learning and never worshipped your lotus feet, O Lord. Now you are my only shelter. Reading on and on, my hopes grew and grew, for I considered the acquisition of material knowledge to be life's true goal. How fruitless those hopes turned out to be, for my knowledge proved feeble. Now I know that all such erudition is actually poor ignorance, pure ignorance. All the so-called knowledge of this world is born of the flickering potency of the illusory energy Maya. It is an impediment to the execution of devotional service to you. Indulgence in the mundane knowledge verily makes an ass of an eternal soul by encouraging him infatuation with this temporary world. Here is one person who has been turned into such an ass, who for so long has carried on his back the useless burden of material existence. Now in my old age, for want of power to enjoy, I find that nothing at all pleases me. Life has now become agony, for my so-called erudite's knowledge has proven itself to be worthless ignorance. Material knowledge has now become a pointed shaft and has pierced my heart with the intolerable burning pain of ignorance. O Lord, there is no treasure forth seeking in this world other than your lotus feet. Bhaktivinoda abandons all his mundane knowledge and makes your lotus feet the sum and substance of his life. Humility means, Prabhupada says, humility means that one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. One devotee was saying, just like we glorify Jai Prabhupada, Jai Shishintai Gohari, Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharaj, Ki Jai. So we glorify Prabhupada, the Vaishnavas, the deities, and we may glorify them, which is honoring them, but internally we glorifying them so that the other devotees can notice that I am glorifying them, so that they can see that I am a nice devotee. So therefore, this is not humility. This is how Maya can, or pride can come very subtly, where we want to be honored by others. We want to be seen in some light or other, as better, more advanced, more powerful, even more humble, more learned. This is the danger of pride. When I was young, I greatly desired to earn money. And at that time, bearing in mind the codes of religion, I took a wife. Together we set up a household, wasted much time, had many sons and daughters. My heart grew heavy. The burden increased day by day. I felt my life at a standstill. Old age came, grabbed me, and made my mind fickle and disturbed. Diseases troubled me now, and constant anxiety has made me feverish. My heart burns for lack of satisfaction, and I see no way out. All is darkness, and I'm very much afraid. The current of this worldly river is strong and relentless. A frightening, gloomy death approaches. Now I wish I could give up my worldly attachments. I would worship you, O Lord, but it is a useless hope. Now please hear me, O Lord, for I am utterly helpless. Bhaktivinoda says, without your mercy, everything is lost. Please give me the shelter of lotus feet. Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita says, one's greatness has to be estimated by one's ability to tolerate provoking situations. I am an impious sinner and have caused others great anxiety and trouble. I have never hesitated to perform sinful acts for my own enjoyment, devoid of all compassion, concerned only with my own selfish interest. I am remorseful seeing others happy. I am a perpetual liar, and the misery of others is a source of great pleasure for me. The material desires within the core of my heart are unlimited. I am wrathful, devoted to false pride and arrogance, intoxicated by vanity and bewildered by worldly affairs. Envy and egotism are the ornaments I wear. Ruined by laziness and sleep, I resist all pious deeds. Yet I am very active, enthusiastic to perform wicked acts. For worldly fame and reputation, I engage in the practice of deceitfulness. Thus, I am destroyed by my own deeds and am always lustful. A vile and wicked man such as this, rejected by godly people, is a constant offender. I am such a person devoid of all good works, forever inclined towards evil, worn out and wasted by various miseries. Now in old age, deprived of all means of success, humbled and poor, Bhaktivinoda submits his tale of grief at the feet of the Lord, of the Supreme Lord. So the beginning of all knowledge comes from humility. Hear, O Lord, my story of sadness. I drank the deadly poison of worldliness, pretending it was nectar, and now the sun is setting on the horizon of my life. I spent my childhood in play, my youth in academic pursuits, and in me there was no sense of right or wrong. In young manhood, I set up a household and settled down to the spell of material enjoyment. Children and friends quickly multiplied. Soon old age arrived and all happiness departed, subjected to disease, troubled and weak. All my senses are feeble now, my body wrecked and exhausted, my spirits downcast in absence of youthful pleasures. Devoid of even a particular devotion, lack any enlightenment, what help is there for me now? O you, Lord, friend of the fallen, I am certainly fallen, the lowest of men. Please, therefore, lift me to your lotus feet. Were you to judge me now, you would find no good qualities. Have mercy and judge me not. Cause me to drink the honey of your lotus feet and thereby deliver this Bhaktivinoda. So Srila Bhakti Thakur, in these songs, he is revealing the reality of our existence, so that at least as he's sharing our reality, we can relate and say yes. And that way we can become humble to say, I'm like that, I'm really fallen. That's me. Even if we think, well, I'm beyond this, still the pure devotee will think, I was like this in my past lives. And my Lord, I was worse than this, and you've saved me. And therefore, again, he becomes humble. Mother Teresa said, if you are humble, nothing will touch you, neither praise nor disgrace, because you know what you are. At your feet, soft as new grown leaves, I offer this humble prayer. Those feet shelter the fallen souls who burn from the heat of material existence, but I gave up their shelter. And now my mind, scorched by fire wilderness, has dried up like a desert. I find no strength to go on, and thus I spend my days lamenting. My only desire now is your lotus feet, Lord of the meek and humble. Has there ever been a soul as fallen as me? Please be merciful and award me the association of your devotees. For by tasting the pleasure of hearing your pastimes, I shall give up all evils. One hope animates my soul, to spend day and night in your divine abode, singing your holy name. Your tiny servant Bhaktivinoda begs a place in the delightful cooling shade at your lotus feet. Humility means to focus on how we can serve, not on what we deserve. O Lord, such a wicked mind has brought me into this world, but one of your pure and elevated devotees has come to bring me out of it. He saw me so fallen and wretched, took pity and came to me, saying, O humble soul, please listen to this good tiding, for it will gladden your heart. Shri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared in the land of Navadvip to deliver you. He has safely conducted many miserable souls such as you across the sea of worldly existence. To fulfill the promise of the Vedas, the son of the Brahmana bearing the name Mahaprabhu of golden complexion has descended with his brother, the Avadut Nityananda. Together, they have overwhelmed all of Nadia with divine ecstasy. Sri Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, the son of Nanda, has saved the world by freely distributing his own holy name. Go also and receive a deliverance. O Lord, hearing those words, Bhaktivinoda has come weeping to the soles of the lotus feet and tell the story of his life. Humility not only acknowledges our total dependence on God, it accepts God's ability to empower our potential. So now we're going to hear one of the songs sung by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in relation to humility.
আমার জীবন সদা পাপের রত নাহিক পুণ্যের লেশ।
আমার জীবন সদা পাপের রত নাহিক পুণ্যের লেশ।
পরের উদ্বেগ দিয়াছি যে কত, দিয়াছি জীবের ক্লেশ।
পরের উদ্বেগ দিয়াছি যে কত, দিয়াছি জীবের ক্লেশ।
নিজ সুখ লাগি পাপে নাহি ডরি, দয়াহীন স্বার্থপর।
নিজ সুখ লাগি পাপে নাহি ডরি, দয়াহীন স্বার্থপর।
পর সুখে দুঃখী সদা মিথ্যা ভাসি, পর দুঃখ সুখ
পর সুখে দুঃখে সদা মিথ্যাভাসী, পর দুঃখ সুখ
অশেষ কামনা হৃদি মাঝে মোর, ক্রোধিদম্ভ পরায়ণ।
অশেষ কামনা হৃদি মাঝে মোর, ক্রোধিদম্ভ পরায়ণ।
মদমত্ত সদা বিষয়ে মোহিত, হিংসা গর্ব বিভূষণ।
মদমত্ত সদা বিষয়ে মোহিত, হিংসা গর্ব বিভূষণ।
নিদ্রালস্য হত সুকার্যে বিরত, অকার্যে উদ্যোগী আমি।
নিদ্রালস্য হত সুকার্যে বিরত, অকার্যে উদ্যোগী আমি।
প্রতিষ্ঠা লাগিয়া স্বার্থ আচরণ, লোভ হত সদা কামী।
প্রতিষ্ঠা লাগিয়া স্বার্থ আচরণ, লোভ হত সদা কামী।
এ হেন দুর্জন সজ্জন বর্জিত, অপরাধী নিরন্তর।
এ হেন দুর্জন সজ্জন বর্জিত, অপরাধী নিরন্তর।
শুভ কার্য শূন্য সদানর্থ মনা, নানা দুঃখে জড়জড়।
শুভ কার্য শূন্য সদানর্থ মনা, নানা দুঃখে জড়জড়।
বার্ধক্যে এখন উপায় বিহীন, তাতে দিন অকিঞ্চন।
বার্ধক্যে এখন উপায় বিহীন, কাটে দিন অকিঞ্চন।
ভকতি বিনোদ প্রভুর চরণে, করে দুঃখ নিবেদন।
ভকতি বিনয় প্রভুর চরণে, করে দুঃখ নিবেদন।
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে।
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে।
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে।
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে।
আমার জীবন সদা পাপে রত, নাহি কো পুণ্যের লেশ।
আমার জীবন সদা পাপে রত, নাহি গো পুণ্যেরলে আমার জীবন সদা পাপে রত নাহি গো পুণ্যেরলে
So the translation of this song, which we also covered, we'll cover it again. My life is my life is ever given to sin. It is in it there is not a particle of good. I have caused others great anxiety and have troubled all souls. For the sake of my own enjoyment, I have never hesitated to perform sinful acts. Devoid of all compassion, I am concerned only with my selfish interests. Perpetually speaking lies, I become dejected upon seeing others happy, whereas the misery of others is a source of great delight for me. There are limitless material desires within the core of my heart. I am wrathful, fond of exhibiting arrogance, intoxicated by vanity and bewildered by worldly affairs. I wear the cherished ornaments of envy and egotism. Ruined by laziness and sleep, I rest all pious deeds, yet am very enthusiastic to perform wicked acts. For the sake of worldly fame and reputation, I engage in acts of deceitfulness. I am victimized by my own greed, being always lustful. For while a wicked man such as this, rejected by godly people, is a constant offender, devoid of all good work, forever inclined towards evil, he is worn out and wasted by various miseries. Now in old age, deprived of all means of relief, thus humbled and poor, Bhaktivinoda submits his tale of grief at the feet of the Supreme Lord. So if we do not learn before we grow old, at old age, we will really get stark realizations. Naturally, the mind will be so agitated that it will be very difficult to surrender. Therefore, Prabhupada encourages that when one is young, when one is, one has strength, one has vitality and energy, the senses, still strong. That's when we should surrender to the Supreme Lord. Not when we're old, because when we're old, then the senses cannot be controlled anymore, and one will die very shamefully. So that is dainya, the quality of humility, very important trait. And as you said, this sessions was just to introduce this. There are 6 limbs of Saranagati, starting with Bhakti Anukul, those activities that are favorable, Bhakti Pratikul, to reject those things unfavorable. Then we covered Avesha Rakshiber, Krishna, having a confidence of Krishna's protection, Guptritve Varna, embracing the Lord as one's guardian, maintainer, Atma Nivedanam, self-surrender, self-submission, and today we covered dainya. So these are the 6 limbs of Saranagati. At least we have some idea of what they are, and because we are on the path of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, then these 6 limbs are extremely important for us to cultivate and perfect. Now I'm going to go over, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives us other limbs: anchoring for service, anchoring for perfection, prayer of heartful anchoring, and the glories of the holy name. And we're going to go through these songs just so that we can also get a glimpse of the other limbs that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also sharing in terms of Bhajan Lalasa, Siddhi Lalasa, Vignapati, and Sri Nam Mahatmya, and then we'll conclude. So in terms of hankering for service, there's 13 songs, practically the most songs here in this category. O Lord Hari, having fallen helplessly into the illusion of this world. I see no other means of deliverance but you. You are the only resource. You are the only recourse for the helpless. I accept the shelter of your lotus feet as essential. I have no knowledge, no background of pious activities, nor any history of strict devotional practice, but you are full of compassion and kindness. Therefore, although I am certainly destitute, I salute your causeless mercy. The powerful urges of speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals have banded together to cast me adrift on the sea of this material world, thus causing me great anxiety and trouble. After great endeavor to subdue these material demands, I have completely given up all hope. O Lord of the destitute, I call upon your holy name, for now you are my only shelter. Second song. O Lord Hari, I become absorbed in accumulating wealth and endeavoring for material possessions. I'm addicted to speaking on topics apart from you, and am always eager to accept practices apart from my own duties. I'm in the habit of meeting with worldly men and am absorbed in speculative thinking. Therefore, devotion to you has remained distant from me. In this heart of mine dwells only envy and malice towards others, false pride, hypocrisy, deceitfulness, and desire for fame and honor. I've not been able to give up any of these attachments. Thus, my own faults have been my downfall. My birth as a human being has been wasted. O Lord Hari, what am I to do now? I am indeed fallen, but your holy name is the savior of the fallen. Clinging to that holy name, I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. Third song. Enthusiasm, devotional service, faith in the process of devotional service, the treasure of patience in endeavoring to attain love of God, performing activities conducive to pure devotion, abandoning company of worldly people, performing approved devotional practice. I have never possessed these 6 devotional qualities. How then shall I give up the association of Maya and worship your lotus feet, Lord? Absorbed in the abominable activities, I never kept company with sadhus. Now I adopt the garb of sadhus and instruct others. This is Maya's big joke. O Lord Hari, in such a helpless condition, surely I will obtain your causeless mercy. Oh, when, under the shelter of my spiritual master, will I call out to you with humble prayers. Fourth, O Lord Hari, to offer a gift and receive one in return, to give and receive spiritual food, to reveal one's confidential thoughts and make confidential inquiries. These 6 characteristics of loving association, and in them is found the very soul of devotion. I have failed to understand absolute truth, and by practicing these 6 activities with non-devotees, either knowingly or unknowingly, I have lost all devotion. Thus, I have become a materialist. For me, you, O Lord, remain afar. The day I cherish these activities of intimate association with devotees of Shri Krishna, that day, the great goddess of devotion will ascend the throne of my heart. When will I give up the company of those who are addicted to women and those who are not devoted to you? When will I get constant association of your devotees, O Lord? Fifth, O Lord, I will mentally honor and consider as my brother who avoids bad company and sings your name, be he formally initiated or not. I offer obeisance to that person who is initiated and worships your lotus feet. I will serve, O Lord, anyone who is fixed in unalloyed devotion to you. I consider myself greatly fortunate to even see that devotee who looks upon all living beings equally. By obtaining his association, I know that I become successful in life. When will my mind become simple and inoffensive towards the Vaishnavas? And when will I cross over the ocean of worldly existence to reach your abode of Raja? Sixth, mud and foam are seen in the waters of the Ganges, for that is the inherent nature of the river water. Yet Ganges water never loses its transcendental nature. One may likewise find defects in the body of a Vaishnava, yet his body is always spiritual, never material. That person who criticizes the body of a Vaishnava falls into deadly irreligion. For such an offense, the fallen soul continuously suffers the tortures of Yamaraj, Lord of Death. O youthful son of Nanda, I pray that I not be destroyed by committing such an offense. The Vaishnavas is yours, and he is your glory. May he be merciful to me. Then my life's journey will lead to you, and I will obtain shelter in the shade of the lotus feet. 7. O venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold onto your lotus feet. Teach me to control my 6 passions, rectify my 6 faults, bestow upon me the 6 qualities, and offer unto me the 6 kinds of holy association. I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Sankirtan of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me by giving me just 1 drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours, and you have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant, running behind you, shouting, Krishna, Krishna. So the 6 passions, which in verse 2, teach me to control the 6 passions. And the 6 passions are those pertaining to the words, mind, anger, the tongue, the stomach, and the genitals. Rectify my 6 faults. The 6 faults are overeating, attachment to material things, inability to follow regular principles, sense gratification, useless idle talk, and impure habits. Bestow upon me the 6 qualities. The 6 positive qualities: enthusiasm in practice, devotional service, firm faith in devotional processes, a strong desire to attain prema bhakti, a favorable service attitude, avoidance of non-devotees, and appreciation of the company of devotees. And offer unto me the 6 kinds of holy association. The 6 methods of association are to go to an assembly of devotees, to invite devotees into one's home, to discuss and hear devotional topics, to take Mahaprasad of devotees, and to offer Mahaprasad to devotees. 8. O Lord Hari, because I forgot you, my tongue has become afflicted with the disease of ignorance. I cannot relish the nectar of your holy name, for I have become addicted to the taste of worldly pleasures. O Lord Hari, if I sing your holy name aloud every day with great respect, then a sugar candy taken medicinally destroys the very disease which makes it taste bitter, jaundice. So the holy name will cure my spiritual disease and allow me to gradually taste your tasty sweetness. O merciful Lord, how great is my misfortune that I feel no appreciation for your holy name. In such a lamentable state, how will I be freed from committing the 10 offenses to the holy name? If I sing your holy name every day, by your mercy, the 10 offenses will gradually disappear. A taste for the holy name will grow within me, and then I will taste the intoxicating spirit of the name. 9. O Lord Hari, Shri Rupa Goswami, in the form of the spiritual master, gave these instructions to my ears. Quote, try to understand my words, O you who begs for the gift of the holy name, for by these instructions you will develop attraction for the chanting of the holy name. Follow the scriptural rules and regulations. Engage your tongue and mind in careful chanting and remembering the holy names, divine forms, qualities, and wonderful pastimes of Krishna. Dwell in the holy name of Vraja, cultivate spontaneous loving devotion, Ragunaga Bhakti, and spend your every moment chanting and remembering the glories of Sri Hari. Just accept these as the essence of all instructions. O Rupa Goswami, when out of your causeless mercy will you enable this poor wretched soul to reside in Vrindavan? You are a Ragatmika devotee, an eternal liberated intimate associate of Radha and Krishna. This humble servant of yours desired to become a follower at your lotus feet. 10. Gurudev, because you are so merciful, you gave me a place in Godruma amidst the woodlands of Goda, with this order to fulfill, quote, dwell here in this Vrindavan and sing the holy name of Hari, unquote. But when, O Master, out of your great mercy, will you bestow upon the servant of yours the spiritual competence to fulfill that order? When will my mind become tranquil and fixed? When will I endure all hardship and serve Lord Hari without distractions? Due to attachment to worldly pleasures in childhood and youth, I've developed bad habits. Because of these sinful acts, my body has become an impediment to the service of the Supreme Lord. Now in old age, afflicted by the 5-fold illnesses, how will I serve the Lord? O Master, please tell me. I've fallen at your feet, weeping, overwhelmed by anxieties. 11. Gurudev, O spiritual master, give the servant just a drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all help. Give me strength. Let me be as you are without desire or aspirations. I offer you respect, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. When will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be with you. If you examine me, you'll find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I'm made of. If you are not merciful unto me, I can only weep and I will not be able to maintain my life. 12. Gurudev, O spiritual master, when with a steady mind in a secluded place will I sing the names of Shri Krishna? When will the pandemonium of worldly existence no longer echo in my ears and disease of the body remain far away? When will that day be mine? When I chant Hare Krishna, tears of love will flow from my eyes and ecstatic rapture will arise in my body, causing my hair to stand on end and my body to become overwhelmed with divine love. Faltering words choked with emotion will issue from my mouth. My body will tremble, constantly perspire, turn pale and discolor and become stunned. All of this will be like a devastation of ecstatic love and cause me to fall unconscious. When will such a genuine ecstatic condition be mine? I will constantly sing the holy name and remain absorbed in profound devotion while maintaining the material body. In this way, I will obtain your mercy. 13. O Gurudev, O spiritual master, Lord Gauranga's transcendental pastimes are eternal realities. I wait for the day when, with this firm faith manifested by your mercy, I will wander to the groves of Godrum, chanting Hari Hari and hoping to behold those pastimes. Panchatattva, Nitai, Gauranga, Advaita, Srivas, and Gadadhar will flood the entire universe with the intoxicating nectar of the holy name of Shri Krishna by performing a Mahasankirtan. In my ears, I will hear the sounds of dancing and playing of the Patangas. By constantly beholding the sweetness and beauty of that pastime of Lord Gauranga's, I will swim in the flood tide of divine love. Materialists will throw dirt at my body and proclaim me thoroughly mad for being again bereft of seeing the jewel of that pastime. I shall weep and cry out, oh, my Lord Gauranga. So this is hankering for service. 13 songs that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying for, very, very beautiful. And Srila Prabhupada gave us access to these prayers. He gave us access to the mercy of the Lord. He gave us access to the chanting of the holy name. He gave us access to the path to Goloka. He gave us access to enter into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. He gave us access to remembering the qualities of Krishna. And therefore we can pray to Srila Prabhupada, to the previous acharyas, to the Lord, so that we can take full advantage of these valuable gifts. Then 3 songs in category of Siddhi Lalasa, hankering for perfection. When will I wander here and there, weeping under the shade of the trees and creepers along the banks of the celestial Ganges River in Navadvip? I will cry out, oh Radha, oh Krishna, and I will completely forget about all the so-called pleasures of this material body. When will I be able to live so simply by begging some food from the homes of the untouchables who live here and there? I will drink the water of the Saraswati, and in ecstasy I will roll to and fro on the bank of the rivers, raising a loud uproar of Krishna, Krishna. When will I bow down to all the inhabitants of the holy land of Navadvip and receive a bit of their causeless mercy? I will smear the dust of the Vaishnav's lotus feet all over my body. I will wear the dress of a mad wandering mendicant. When I factually observe that the transcendental land of Navadvip is non-different from Sri Vrajabhumi, then I shall be transformed into a Vrajabasi also. Then I will see the true form of the transcendental realm opening up before my very eyes, and I will thus become one of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani. 2. When will I be able to leave this plane of my gross bodily identity far behind? Within a split second, I will completely forget all of these false external affairs and behold the exquisite beauty of the transcendental realm of Raja, which is completely radiant with eternal conscious bliss. I shall then take bath in Varshana, the town of King Vrishabhanu, and I will be married nearby in the town of Yavat. My sole disposition and character shall be that of a simple coward girl, and I shall not know any other mode. I shall obtain my own eternal spiritual body, transcendental name, and specific type of beauty and dress for the pleasure of Krishna. And when, by the power of Sri Radha's causeless mercy, will I be allowed entrance in the pastimes of divine love of Krishna. As I go with the water pot on my head and draw water from the Yamuna river, I shall cherish the remembrance of the mellows of conjugal love that unite Sri Radha and with Krishna. Thus, being enchanted by their divine love, I will madly sing the glories of Sri Radha, just like a raving lunatic. For serving the lotus feet of the charming daughter of King Vrishabhanu, I will become a sheltered maidservant of her maidservants. Indeed, I will live only for the happiness of Sri Radha, and will always endeavor to increase her joy. I will understand within my heart that Krishna feels happiness only when Radha is happy. I will thus never ever dare become desirous of abandoning Radha's lotus feet to be with Krishna myself. All my associate Sakhis are my supreme well-wishers, my best friends, and they are the teachers of my lessons in conjugal love. Simply by following them, I will serve the lotus feet of Radha, which are just like the desire-fulfilling trees. I am forever partial and prone to favoring the party of Sri Radha. I will never even look upon those persons who have abandoned her entourage, for whoever they may be, and regardless of what they preach. And then one song for Vignapati, prayer of heartfelt hankering. When, oh when, will that day be mine? When will you give me your blessings, erase all my offenses, and give my heart to taste ruchi for chanting the holy name in purity? When will I taste the essence of the holy name, feeling myself to be lower than the grass, my heart filled with tolerance? When will I give respect to all others and be free from the desire for respect from them? When will I cry out that I have no longer any desire for wealth and followers, poetry and beautiful women, all of which are meant just for bodily pleasure? O Gaura Hari, give me the causeless devotional service, bhakti to your lotus feet, birth after birth. When will my body be covered with goosebumps and my voice broken with emotion as I pronounce Krishna's name? When will my body change color and my eyes flow with endless tears as I chant? When will I give up all thought of the world and society to run like a madman along the bank of the Ganges in Navadvip, singing and dancing and sincerely calling out the names of Gaura and Nityananda? When will Nityananda Prabhu be merciful to me and deliver me from the enchantment maya of sense objects? When will he give me the shade of his lotus feet and the right to enter the marketplace Namahat of the holy name? When will I buy, borrow, or steal the ecstasies of the holy name? When will I lose myself in the intoxication of the holy name? When will I immerse myself in the nectar of the holy name after grasping the feet of a saint who constantly relishes the flavor rasa of devotion? When will I feel compassion for all living beings, jivas? When will I forget my own pleasure in genuine humility? And when will I, Bhaktivinoda, meekly go from door to door, preaching the message of love? Such a wonderful song. And finally, the glories of Srinam. Sees the supreme form of the Lord in this age. Krishna has appeared, Kalikana Namarupa Krishna avatar, and we can surrender to Krishna in his wonderful form as the holy name of Krishna. How much power does the name of Krishna possesses? My heart constantly burns in the fire of worldly desires like a desert scorched by the sun. The holy name entering within my heart through the holes of my ears, showers unparalleled nectar upon my soul. The holy name speaks from within my heart, moves on the tip of my tongue and constantly dances on it in the form of transcendental sound. My throat becomes choked, my body violently trembles, and my feet moves uncontrollably. Rivers of tears flow from my eyes, perspiration pours from my body thrills with rapture, causing my hair to stand on end and my skin to turn pale and discolored. My mind grows faint and I begin to experience devastation. My body is shattered in flood of ecstasy. While causing such an ecstatic disturbance, the holy name showers liquid nectar on my heart and drowns me in the ocean of divine love of God. He does not allow me to understand anything, for he has made me truly mad and has stolen my heart and all my wealth. Such is the behavior of him who is now my only shelter. I am not able of describing all this. The holy name of Krishna is independent and thus acts as his own sweet will. Acts at his own sweet will. In whatever way he becomes happy, that is also my way of happiness. The holy name is the bud of the flower of divine love, the abode of devotion's wonderful mellows. Such is the power that is manifested, that although he displays his power only slightly, he reveals his own divine form and qualities, steals my heart and takes it to Krishna. Being fully manifest, the holy name takes me to Vraja and reveals to me his own love dalliance. He gives me my own divine eternal body, keeps me near Krishna, and completely destroys this mortal frame of mine. The name of Krishna is touchstone, a mine of all devotional mellows, eternally liberated, and the embodiment of pure ras. When all impediments to the pure chanting of the holy name are taken away and destroyed, then my happiness will know its true awakening. So we're going to hear this final song that we just read the translation of. Now we're going to hear that song sung by Sonis Bhakti Charuswami Maharaj. Just want to unmute. So
Krishna naam dhare katobar, Krishna naam dhare katobar, Bishayo basona nale mor chitta sada jwale, রবি তপ্ত মরুভূমি সম, বিষয় বাসনা নলে মোর চিত্ত সদা জলে, রবি তপ্ত মরুভূমি সম। কর্ণরন্ধ্র পথ দিয়া হৃদি মাঝে প্রবেশিয়া, পরিষয় সুধায় অনুপম। কর্ণরন্ধ্র পথ দিয়া হৃদি মাঝে প্রবেশিয়া, পরিষয় সুধায় অনুপম। হৃদয় হইতে বলে জিহ্বার অগ্রেতে চলে, শব্দরূপে নাচে অনুক্ষণ। হৃদয় হইতে বলে জিহ্বার অগ্রেতে চলে, শব্দরূপে নাচে অনুপম। কণ্ঠে মোর ভঙ্গে স্বর, অঙ্গ কাঁপে থর থর, স্থির হইতে না পারে চরণ। কণ্ঠে মোর ভঙ্গে স্বর, অঙ্গ কাঁপে থর ধারা দেহে ঘর্ম পুলকিত সব চর্ম বিবর্ণ হইল কলেবর। চক্ষে ধারা দেহে ঘর্ম পুলকিত সব চর্ম বিবর্ণ হইল কলেবর। মূর্ছিত হইল মন প্রলয়ের আগমন ভাবে সর্বদেহ জড়। মূর্ছিত হইল মন প্রলয়ের আগমন ভাবে সর্বদেহ জড়। করিয়ত উপদ্রব চিত্তে বর্ষে সুধাদ্র মোরে দ্বারে প্রেমের সাগরে। করিয়ত উপদ্রব চিত্তে বর্ষে সুধাদ্র মোরে দ্বারে প্রেমের সাগরে। কিছু না বুঝিতে দিল মোরে তো বাতুল হইল মোর চিত্ত বৃত্ত সব ঘরে। কিছু না বুঝিতে দিল মোরে তো বাতুল হইল মোর চিত্ত বৃত্ত সব ঘরে। লইনু আশ্রয়ে যা হেন ব্যবহার তার পূর্ণিতে না পারি এ সকল। লইনু আশ্রয়ে যা হেন ব্যবহার তার পূর্ণিতে না পারি এ সকল। কৃষ্ণ নাম ইচ্ছাময় যাহে যাহে সুখী হয় সেই মোর সুখের সম্বল। কৃষ্ণ নাম ইচ্ছাময় যাহে যাহে সুখী হয় সেই মোর সুখের সম্বল। প্রেমের কলিকানা অদ্ভুত রসের ধাম হেন বল করয়ে প্রকাশ। প্রেমের কলিকানা অদ্ভুত রসের ধাম হেন বল করয়ে প্রকাশ। ঈষৎ বিকোষী পুন দেখায় নিজ রূপ গুণ চিত্ত হরিলয় কৃষ্ণ পায়। ঈষৎ বিকোষী পুন দেখায় নিজ রূপ গুণ চিত্ত পূর্ণ বিকশিত হইয়া রোজে মোরে যায় লইয়া দেখায় মোরে স্বরূপ বিলাস।
পূর্ণ বিকশিত হইয়া রোজে মোরে যায় লইয়া দেখায় মোরে স্বরূপ বিলাস।
মোরে সিদ্ধ দেহ দিয়া কৃষ্ণ পাশে রাখে গিয়া দেহের করে সর্বনাশ।
মোরে সিদ্ধ দেহ দিয়া কৃষ্ণ পাশে রাখে গিয়া দেহের ভরে সর্বনাশ।
কৃষ্ণ নাম চিন্তামণি অখিল রসের খনি নিত্য মুক্ত শুদ্ধ রসময়।
কৃষ্ণ নাম চিন্তামণি অখিল রসের খনি নিত্য মুক্ত শুদ্ধ রসময়।
নামেরও বালাই যত সব লয়ে হই হত তবে মোর সুখের
নামের বালাই যত সব লয়ে হই নত তবে মোর সুখের উদার।
কৃষ্ণ নাম ধরে কতবার কৃষ্ণ নাম ধরে কতবার
কৃষ্ণ নাম ধরে কতবার কৃষ্ণ নাম ধরে কতবার।
So, concluding, let's hear Srila Prabhupada.
One knows how to kill the demons, setting fire. Just like you, somewhere or other, if there is fire in the forest, they automatically, so many trees, so many animals, so many other things become devastated, burnt into ashes. So Krishna, by the policy of Krishna, all the demons were brought together in the battlefield of Kurukshetra and set them. The fire was set fighting, and they died. When Arjuna was hesitating to fight, Arjuna was at last informed that why you are hesitating. It is all my plan. You fight or don't fight, it doesn't matter. These people are not going back home. They will die. Nimitta matra bhavasabhusa. You just become only nimitta, an immediate cause. Everything is arranged. But if you fight, you get the credit. I want to see my devotee gets the credit. Everything I am doing, everything actually, just like this Krishna consciousness movement, is quickly spreading all over the world within 4 or 5 years. Is it my credit? No. It is credit of Krishna. But because I tried to do this business, people automatically giving me the They say, Swamiji, you have done wonder. I have done nothing wonder. Ah, it is Krishna's business. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe now. Without Krishna's strength, nobody can stay. That is stated in Chaitanya. Similarly, Krishna is always ready to help us, provided we are also ready to cooperate with him.
So yeah, we see Srila Prabhupada very humbly, not taking any credit for spreading Krishna consciousness, simply understanding Krishna is doing everything. Perfect instrument, even though Prabhupada was learned, had devotion, had the skills, did practically everything single-handed, but yet understanding very, very clearly all by Krishna's mercy. And those that came forward to help Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada did not have this false ego, this pride, I'm the Acharya, I'm the Guru, everyone must surrender to me, must serve me. No, Prabhupada was extremely humble, understanding that I'm simply a servant of Krishna, and everyone that's coming to serve me, serve my Guru's mission, they are representative of my spiritual master. And therefore Prabhupada took care of them like the property of his spiritual master. This was Prabhupada's mood, and Prabhupada was always grateful. Let's hear Srila Prabhupada's tears of gratitude for those that are serving, that served and are serving his mission.
So in this way, gradually, I became attached to these Gaudiya Mount activities, and by the grace of Krishna, my business also was not going very well. Yes. Krishna says, Jasahon Nigrindami Hariseta Dhanam Sami. If somebody wants to be actually devotee of Krishna, at the same time keeps his material attachment, then Krishna's business is he takes away everything material so that same person he becomes, dependent on Krishna. So that actually happened to my life. I was obliged to come to this movement, to take up this very seriously. And I was dreaming that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is calling me, please come out with me. So I was sometimes horrified. Oh, what is this? I have to give up my family life. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is calling me. I have to take sannyas. Oh, I was horrified. But I saw several times calling me. So anyway, it is by his grace I was forced to give up my family life and so-called business life. And he brought me somewhere or other in preaching his gospel. So this is a memorable day. What he deserved, I am trying little bit, and you are all helping me. So I have to thank you more. You are actually representative of my Guru Maharaj. Because you are helping me in executing the order of my Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. So in this way, gradually,
So let us surrender our lives in the service of Srila Prabhupada. Let us embrace these limbs of Saranagati, try to imbibe them in our lives. It'll take time, but as we hear, we apply, we pray with the proper mood that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has revealed in these wonderful songs. Simply by hearing these songs and singing with these songs, we imbibe the mood, we attract Krishna's attention, we attract Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's mercy, and in this way, slowly we will continue on this path of surrender. Surrender is a journey for most of us, and as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes in his last song, how the holy name will practically put us in a flood of ecstasies. That journey awaits us. We simply have to surrender to the service of Srila Prabhupada. And I'll play this last clip. Srila Prabhupada is with us through his teachings, and we simply have to surrender our lives. Just as Srila Prabhupada surrendered his life, fulfilling the mission of his spiritual master, we have an opportunity to also serve such a wonderful, exemplary, and wonderful servant, Srila Prabhupada.
in 1966, lecturing in a storefront, living in that apartment in 26 Second Avenue. Then gradually, these boys, American boys and girls began to come. Then I started my kirtan in Tompkinson Square. More and more, these young Americans, they came to me. I began to chant this Hare Krishna mantra. I was chanting there for 3 hours with a little small mridanga. And these boys, American boys, they assembled and gradually they joined. And it is increasing. First of all, it was started in New York. Then we started our branch in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, in Santa Fe. In Buffalo, then here. In London Times, there was an article. They said that Krishna chanting started London.
Finally, he did it. Srila Prabhupada meets with unprecedented success. When asked the reason, the cause of his success, Srila Prabhupada describes, "My only credit is that I tried to present the Bhagavad Gita as it is. I did not adulterate it. Also, I tried my best to sincerely follow the orders of my spiritual master. Acharyas never die. They live forever and inspire millions through their teachings and divine instructions.
What will happen to the movement when you die? I never die.
And that brings us to the end of our sessions on the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. Thank you very much for all the devotees that attended all the sessions. Thank you so much. If there's any questions or comments, we can take that. So this Bafana proposed comments. I'll just read that. I'm so very defeated. I have no words to explain how much I need help to rise from my defeated state. Yet, I have no desire to pursue and practice irregardless of my mistakes. The mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the mercy of the holy name is inconceivable. This is what makes Krishna consciousness. This is really what makes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy magnanimous. Srila Rupa Goswami says Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is magnanimous. Why? Because fallen souls in Kali Yuga have the opportunity, no matter what baggage, no matter what sinful activities we come with, we have the mercy to simply embrace the simple process of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And by embracing that process, no matter what baggage we have, the baggage may be huge, it may be of lifetimes, but when we surrender to the holy name, simply to chant and hear, the holy name will do everything. The holy name will carry us, the holy name will empower us, the holy name will purify us, the holy name will reveal everything to us. So it is not difficult. For us, it's impossible, but not for the holy name. Because the holy name is Krishna, the holy name is all-powerful, the holy name is our best well-wisher, ever well-wisher. So don't lose hope, Bafana Prabhu. There is hope because of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's said by simply remembering Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, difficult things become easy. And if you forget Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then even simple things become difficult. Yes, we will add, I'll post links as well for those that would like to join the the WhatsApp group. Mother Uttara and David, I say thank you, Prabhu, for guiding us and taking us through the 6 limbs. Listening to Srila Prabhupada and His Honor's Bhakti Charu Maharaj brought joy, brought tears of joy. The words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, such nectar. Thank you, Mukund, for arranging the program, giving us darshan of the Go Matas. Nime says, thank you, Prabhuji. Madachana Siddhis, thank you. Mother Lorenza, thank you for the profound knowledge and association. Nime says, millions of dandavats to you, all the Vaishnavas, Pochamas, in the holy name. Thank you. Hemavati Radhika says, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful class, beautiful ISKCON, and most beloved Srila Prabhupada, who gave us everything in the most perfect way. Thank you, Nishinga Prabhu and Mother Mati, for enlightening our hearts and inspiring Krishna consciousness through these classes. We are grateful and appreciate your outstanding devotional service. Thank you for your wonderful appreciation. All credits go to Srila Prabhupada, no doubt. Without him, we are nothing. Jagannath Prabhu says, Hare Krishna, thank you for Mukund Prabhu and for Govinda Goshala for hosting this awesome series. Thank you to His Grace Nishinganan Das for presenting this knowledge in such a way that I could understand at least some. I'm glad. Achana Siddhi Maharaji says, I have no words to thank for these wonderful sessions and make us understand the deep meaning of these beautiful songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Thank you. Mother Rasa Stali says, thank you so much for the sweet transcendental nectar, Prabhuji, which gets more sweeter every day. We're so grateful for this mercy when hearing all Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song in an overview together today. I found the essence of these songs also comes from the instructions of Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita, also Sri Shastikam, and also Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, just blissful, yes. All right. If anybody would also, Vidura Prabhu, you wanted to also say something, you can unmute yourself as well.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
So,
Vidura.
on behalf of all the participants, we are grateful to have been to have a surgeon along the you have been the surgeon, the specialist surgeon along the path of Saranagati. So it has revealed our true nature. Very thankful to you. We take things casually in life sometimes. We think we are advancing in life. After hearing all the 6 lectures, I can say that I'm practically, I don't know nothing. I don't know. So very grateful to you. And also to Mataji, Madri, who is somewhere here. She is in the background there. You, like the surgeon, there must be somebody around somebody.
Assistant nurse. The assistant nurse.
So she's there. Surely she'll be there. The research work.
She was helping me with the book slides and songs.
Oh, good, nice. And thank you, Prabhu Mukund, for hosting. Thank you, all the devotees. Very thankful. So a long way to go on. All together, we can make it as you have said. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, it's actually an interesting phenomena in Krishna consciousness. The more we advance, the more we recognize how far we are. Yeah, it's astounding. The more you know about Krishna, the more you recognize how little you know about Krishna. And what's also amazing is very often we want to go back home this lifetime. But when we understand how fallen we are, and if we imbibe Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayers, he's not saying, I'm qualified to go home in this lifetime, take me home. He's saying, I'm so fallen. Even if I have to come back, it's okay. Please bring me back in association of devotees so that I can keep hearing and chanting. And life after life, if my Lord, you feel I'm still, meant to suffer, let me come. But as long as I'm connected to serving you, lotus feet in devotional service with devotees, in the house of devotees, taking the remnants, I'm happy. This is, the mood of Saranagati. And when the Lord takes us back in few lifetimes, we'll say, my Lord, you're so merciful. I'm supposed to be here for billions of lifetimes, and you just took me in few lifetimes. This is why they say, you are Karuna Sindhu, you are so compassionate. So thank you very much. Yeah. So thank you very much, Vidura Prabhu, for your wonderful, kind words and your wonderful association for all the way from Mauritius. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you all for the kind words. I think when you mentioned, when you played the second last video, we just the cause, right? It's not our doing, am I right? You know, Krishna is doing everything. We just like how he said in the battlefield, whether they are
Yes, we are
killed or not
instruments.
killed, the end it's bound to happen. So we just the cause. Am I right? I'm saying that we just the
Yes.
cause, and we just doing what Krishna wants. Everything is meant to happen, and we just helping to facilitate all this. So this is none of our doings, and I think we should really thank COVID for this.
Yes.
You know, it was because of last year. That's when it all started. We couldn't meet, and thanks to Zoom, you know, we could host these things, and we get people across, you know, everywhere joining us, which couldn't have happened if we had it at the temple. You know, it's always logistical problems. I think we should really thank COVID that we do this. And if I could just tell the devotees on the line, when Karthik started, I'm like, okay, now what are we going to do this year? And then I messaged Prabhu, and you won't believe, when I messaged him, within 5 minutes, he already had the topic, everything already planned already. It wasn't where he said, Prabhu, I'll get back to you. It was already there. I just said to message, and then the theme, everything was already set. Within half an hour, everything was already set. So Prabhu from Govindas Goshala, thank you for ever being ready to facilitate this and, you know, share the knowledge that you've learned, and like you rightfully said over the weeks, that you're also learning and you're sharing this, and that's how you learn, is by sharing. So I know on behalf of the Govindas Goshala, all the devotees, thank you so much for engaging us. And yes, we have learned. You think, because last year we did the high five series, it was more about the Damodar Leela, and then I'm like, okay, now what will Prabhu be able to talk about this year? And then look, already another topic with different learnings which I never knew. So thank you for enlightening us, and taking that next step, that we still got a long way to go and surrender to Krishna. And this is just helping us again, like building blocks, stepping blocks to get there. So really appreciate your time, effort, Mataji as well, the slides, the preparing everything. And I was like, when you said 2 hours, I'm like, yo, okay, this is gonna be intense, you know. If it's hour, it's like, okay, when it's 2 hours, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be intense, but we pulled through. It was worth it. And it's gonna live forever. Everything is recorded, and we're gonna put this up whenever anybody wants to access these classes. If you're feeling lonely, I already saw the one message, it's never gonna be the same again. The recordings are there, you can go back. We can start from Bhagavad Gita again, all 16 chapters. It's all there online. So thank you so much, everybody, for participating and joining us diligently, regularly, showing your support and eagerness to learn more. I just want to share the screen here. So my details are on there. I really look forward to where is it? If anybody wants to visit the Goshala, you're more than welcome to. That's my number. You can just take a screenshot of there. You can message Vidura Prabhu. If you're in South Africa, you're more than welcome to come and visit here. But that's my number. If you want to do some go down as well, I'm here. It will be nice to welcome you guys here to the Goshala. And please join us. Follow us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. Links and even future events, or classes that we want to host or that can add value, follow us. Everything will be shared on there. And again, thank you everybody for joining us online. Please take care, stay safe. Hare Krishna. But before we leave, we will do some Go Mata Darshan. Thank you.
Hello. Namaste. Thank you, Prabhu. Hello. Sound.
Say Haribol. Haribol. No fighting. This is Vishnu. This is the family. Here we go. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we could maybe close off with Mahamantra.
Yes, so we can request all those devotees that like to unmute. You're most welcome to unmute. You can share your camera so that we can, we had darshan of the cows. Now we also like to get darshan of some of the devotees. All right. Let's see. All right, we can all chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyacha Itanam Vaishnaveभ्यो Antakoti Vaishnavan ki jai, Govindas Goshala ki jai, Amaveda Bhaktavinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gopramanande. So thank you once again. We shall meet again, either one of the programs online. So even though tomorrow you feel the separation, go on Google, find a lecture. There's, due to Mr. YouTube, there is so much Krishna Katha all over the planet with different devotees. So there's no shortage of hearing subject matter. You can go to online, search Prabhupada's lectures. You can hear Prabhupada's lectures. Go to Veda, Vani Media. You can listen to all Prabhupada's lectures. So there is no shortage of association. And And by constantly
Yes.
keeping that association, it will increase our appetite. So when we do get association of devotees like this, or even in offline, we will appreciate that association even more. Wonderful. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhu, that other Prabhu that you use, is it Mahavishnu Prabhu, right? Or the one who used to give all
Yes.
the practice?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
quite interesting.
Yeah, he's got quite a few as well. You can search him as well online.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.